really write something on. And we are getting into this next game. But the idea is, what I wanted to mention is, in StarCraft, you don't want to counter everything your opponent is doing, because it actually makes you really weak. You want to have your own plan that you're also following. And you want to bend a little bit based on what your opponent is doing, but you don't want to just counter what they're doing. Right? If you just counter what your opponent is doing, let's say you're a Protoss player in StarCraft 2, you're going to end up with, like, Phoenix Disruptor. You can't do anything with that. So even though you've countered everything, it doesn't matter. You're not going to win. So, anyways, these are some of the thoughts that I'll talk more about it later. But let's go into this. Whew. Here we go. Byun versus MaxPax. Absolutely insane match. In fact, let me fucking just send this out to the world that this is happening, because this is actually an insane match. All right. Byun versus MaxPax. Let's do it, guys. We're on Ancient Cistern to start. Yeah, so MaxPax top right. We have Byun bottom left. Byun, you know, he, at Gamers 8, he went, let's see, he got top 8 and then lost to Rainer, right? Am I remembering this correctly? Yeah, right? It was, yeah, it was Rainer. I casted that one. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm remembering this correctly. There's, like, too many StarCraft games in my head. I almost need to clean out some of them. Anyways, he honestly didn't play, it didn't feel like he played up to his, actual level against Rainer, or rather, I guess Rainer's counterattacks really hurt Byun there. But, you know, Byun is something I've been saying for the last couple months, because we cast Byun in this cup very often. He has been on point. He has looked really good. He's looked like a world-class player. There is a chance Byun can beat MaxPax here. MaxPax obviously very strong. A lot of people consider him the best Protoss. As I've said, it's hard to do that when he doesn't go to LAN, because I think that is truly where you prove yourself. But obviously he's a very strong competitor and one of the favorites of this tournament. But anyways, yeah, Byun against MaxPax is going to be, well, this could be bad for Byun, because we have a proxy from MaxPax, and Byun is going triple CC off of one reactored barracks. So he's not going to have that many units. And it's going to be a proxy gateway. So yeah, let's see on this. See what type of damage MaxPax may be able to pull out. Get him. Look at that thing run away. It's so cowardly. All right, so Twilight and 2 gates total. So 3-gate Blink very likely coming out of MaxPax here. Well, that's interesting, using 1 shade. Look at that. That's kind of a cute play. 1 shade and then the 2nd shade. Just consistent shades coming in so that, you know what? I think this is just to block SCVs from rallying down effectively. The fact that MaxPax is making optimizations like this, I mean, you've got to be impressed, right? That type of optimization is pretty absurdly cool. Oh my god, he's actually slowing down this bunker and getting a decent amount of kills. Does have to pull back. The bunker is up. Byun loses 3 SCVs, but you know what? He's got triple orbital here in just a moment. Now, Dark Shrine coming up. That's insane. 3 racks fall up here from Byun. So he's going Blink into DT on 2 base. Now, this is some decisive play from MaxPax. We can actually relate this to what I was talking about before, where you kind of have to have your own plan and do it, and you should react somewhat to what your opponent is doing. But the wrong plan executed well is better than the right plan done slowly or in a non-decisive manner, right? So, like, even though maybe in theory you're doing, like, the right type of thing against what your opponent is doing, if you're doing it slowly, if you're not, like, really optimizing it, then it's going to be worse than doing the wrong thing well. That's a funny thing about StarCraft, right? It's more real-time than it is strategy, I guess is one way we can put it. So right now, Byun is building up a fairly decent army here with the 3 racks. He is a pretty big fan of these 3 racks plays. We don't know exactly how many mules he's going to end up spending here. Yeah, gets on top of those stalkers, going to push them back. DT is going to be running in. So here we go. MaxPax slipping by with a DT while he's microing with those stalkers. So that might bring the attention of Byun. Now he gets a DT up in the main. By the way, 2 SCVs not mining. That's because of earlier with those depths shading up. So very, very cool play. Costing like 2 SCVs. Look at this. He's getting so many kills right now. It's insane. 10 kills. 10 kills. Dude. MaxPax is a killer, man. He truly is. He truly is. Those DTs were absolutely worth it. And notice how he gets the Immortal behind. That's a very popular play. When you go DT and you actually buy DTs, it makes your army so soft. Your army always looks like this, right? And then your opponent has a big army, and it's one of these things we talked about before where you traded army for economy. And that's something that you know, you got to take into consideration. Adding some muscle to your army is definitely one way to do that. All right, picks off a few units here. Byun with some good micro. Killing what he can. Of course, we got to get those medevacs out. The starport is almost done here. MaxPax just trading what he can. He's up about 9 workers at the moment. His 3rd base is up in mining. Byun, of course, has had this 3rd command center for 100 years. Unable to do anything with it yet. Going up to the 5 racks play, so really powering quite a bit. Concussive shells as well as +1 going to be finishing here. Colossi coming out for MaxPax. I like that. The DT blocks the landing for a moment and then walks away. He might go down here and scan. Ah, wrecked! Wrecked! Dude, MaxPax really does these little optimizations where he knows how his opponent's going to... It's not unlucky. It's not unlucky. It's MaxPax being good. There's no way you can say that's unlucky. Because if you look at it just right, you can tell if there's a DT there, or you can try to re-land the command center, right? There's multiple things you can do. Thing is, you don't want to spend that much time using your eyes to try to figure out if there's one there, because if you miss it, and there is one there and you didn't scan, you're really going to regret that. So I can't blame him for doing that. And MaxPax knew that that was the best play for him. So he saves his DT. It's just good stuff from MaxPax. Comes in with that DT now, getting some kills. Multiple Colossi coming out. Has that charge upgrade already. All right, just a little bit of a... You know, a little bit of pressure, I guess we can call that, with the stalkers checking what his opponent has. They aren't going to do much there anyways. 4th Nexus getting up, sending probes over as well. Ghost Academy on the way. +1 air attack. So, that's... I don't mind the +1 air attack. I mean, you should be working on it for Liberators anyways. If you get into those Liberators, definitely want to make sure that you have +2 for nailing the stalkers down. And obviously it can help with Vikings against the Colossi. Little poking here from MaxPax, completely unafraid of what Byun has at the moment. Byun does have a lot of Marauders. You do have to watch out for him in situations like this. Gonna start trying to pick some units off. Some good hits there from MaxPax. His Immortal gets picked off super, super fast. You can see he's a very Marauder-heavy player. Byun is. It's kind of funny. He used to call himself Ghost King Prime. Do you guys remember that? Ghost King? That was him. Also called himself Bleach right at the very beginning of his career. Anyways, lifts off and pulls his SCVs forward. MaxPax really grinding down right now. Look at that. Just slaying the SCVs. Just perfect control from MaxPax. Really. I can't say anything negative about his control this game. It's been immaculate. There's nothing else to say about it. Immaculate, immaculate control. 21 SCVs dead. Byun is getting spanked here. And one thing I do have to say, this game looked a lot different from what we saw from Gumiho against Trigger. Like, this is real Byun play. This is real Byun play. And, you know, this is not necessarily representative of the whole series. Anyone, even a former world champion, can have a game that goes wrong. But, you know, this is the type of strategy. It's certainly a strategy we've seen him use before. He was kind of on the back foot, right? Like, MaxPax coming in immediately with the 2-gate or 3-gate pressure, and then running the DTs in. That slowed everything down for Byun, and then just the follow-up. It was just a beautifully executed game from MaxPax. It didn't feel like Byun did anything glaringly wrong. It's just the plan was much better from his opponent. And you can see, like, the engage here from MaxPax is just... It's so well done. And he's got... Look at that. Zealots in the main base right now. He's taking another Nexus during all this. So, like, he's literally going up to a 6th base against 3. I mean, there's nothing left. Byun's going to GG. Absolute stomp. Absolute stomp. Yeah. No, that was like perfect control from MaxPax. He's got excellent micro, you know? He's known for it. Truly good.
Profane donated $3. Mono white control Artosis on 2 land fucking shit. Cheesy mono red beats deck just sits there and does nothing all game. Has 2 mana, can do whatever he wants. So our top deck shock, big surprise. So broken I'm out of swords to plowshares. Hate this game.
Yeah. Well, I didn't play those trash decks in extended. But mono white control, what garbage. Well, I don't know what anything is nowadays. I haven't played in years and years and years. All right, we're going to get into the next game. I was a mono blue player at the beginning. All right, let's go. Yeah, this is all live. So, top left, we have MaxPax. Bottom right, we have Byun. So, I hope Byun can put out a better game. I really do. Visionary Frank, what's up, man? Good to see you. Range Colossus. Okay, so that bug has not been fixed. And of course you can see MaxPax like really utilized it as well. Yeah, the ESL command is old. That was from the very first time I ever did it. So I don't know why that's still in there. If someone would like to delete that command for me, I'd appreciate it. Anyways. With that eBay block, Looks like MaxPax is going to go ahead and just take the Nexus at the third base location. Now, I historically do not like this. I think that when you take that Nexus there, it really opens up Hellions being super, super strong. So, I think that's what we'll see immediately here from Byun. MaxPax knows that, so let's see how he counters it. Right, this is like an old thing. Like, I think TY back in 2016 is the one that really kind of showed us what Hellions can do in this matchup. They were not really used against Protoss before then at the top level. And it's like you can generally go back and find at least one example of anything, but like this is pretty true. I believe, yeah, that season it was like TY Zest in the finals. And TY definitely was showing us some great skills with Hellions. But in this type of situation, I think it's very strong. Now, on MaxPax's side, very likely he'll go Oracle and maybe use it defensively here against the Hellions. Because otherwise, it's, going to be pretty gross on that base. Nice micro there from Byun. Pulls back to the high ground and will run up and get the kill there. Maximum damage from MaxPax, so he's really maximizing everything, man. He's a sick optimizer. And that's, like, very important for Protoss. You want to be an optimizer. Most of the best Protosses were optimizers. Not most, actually. I shouldn't say most. There's a pretty wide range of what the best Protosses did. But I guess my favorite Protoss is Zest. he was the true king optimizer for Protoss. Anyways, here comes those Hellions that we were talking about, right? So, yeah, he snipes one there. That's good. But, like, 4 probes dead already, right? And he's actually utilizing a Phoenix. Phoenix is one idea for slowing this down. But let's see. Ah, he's just going to outrun it because you can't hit the front Hellion there. Okay. Still, 5 probes killed, and he's lost 2 Hellions doing that? That's good. That's high quality. You're happy with that. You're keeping his Phoenixes super, super busy as well. Ooh, yeah. That was very, very close. That was very, very close to getting out of range there and forcing a Phoenix lift. That's what he was looking for. It was maybe forcing one more lift there. Nice lock on. Byun definitely putting out a better game here, I think. Definitely looks much more competitive than the previous game. Look at that. Snaps that Phoenix. All right. All right. Honestly, this is more of the way I want to see Byun play anyways. We know that he's good with bio. But I swear to God, if you take out all the games he ever went any sort of 3 racks opener against Protoss, he would just be a better player, right? If you just got rid of all those, you'd be like, oh, damn, that's like 70% of your losses against Protoss. Isn't that crazy? All right, gets a couple lock-ons there. Doesn't do too much with them. Very small army here for MaxPax. Of course, he's split really, really far from everything. Bad lock on there. You can see he lets auto lock on remain. Always interesting to me. I always wonder if I was a Terran player in this, if I would use auto lock on or not. I would if I was doing battle mech against Zerg for sure. That's like that's too intense. But everything else, I feel like it's better to just lock on yourself. Yes, Byun obsesses with 3 racks. It's been a problem like literally throughout his career. I've talked about it so many times over the years. I feel like a broken record. But truly, it's the pro gamers that are broken records. Because they keep doing the same shit that doesn't work. I don't know, maybe it works on ladder and they're like, yeah, it's good. It's like, no, dude. Just because it works on ladder doesn't mean it's good. Alright, so, that one lock on I liked against the Immortal. Trigger that shield just in case you're going to fight. Look at this. Byun smashing, man. Doing a great job here. Forces a cancel on that natural. Good force field. Doesn't get it back in time, unfortunately. Very important moment. Has to trade well here, and he will. Dude, that Colossus just doesn't want to die. Oh, he gets it. Are you kidding me? Oh, I actually thought he wasn't going to get it at the end because he had like 2 Marines left. Crazy. All right, Phoenix is finally going to go across the map. MaxPax walking with like 3 units across the map as well. Those aren't going to do anything. Double medevac drop going up towards that third. Some decent harassment going down. This is definitely something MaxPax needs to do right now. But that means he's not going to have his Phoenixes to help out against the double drop. Double drop at that third base location. Here it is. Dude, we're going to be going into a game 3, I think. Byun just smashing. Just like MaxPax smashed game 1. I'm really happy to see this out of Byun. Because it feels bad sometimes, man. When you get a player of Byun's level that has been playing really well lately, if he just starts getting smashed, you're like, well, I guess that was it. He's going to go back into being like the world's 8th best Terran or whatever, instead of like a top 3 Terran. But this is a very good game out of him. Here it's like, okay, the Phoenixes came back, so he couldn't get away anyways, so you're just trying to maximize whatever you can get. And 17 probes is pretty damn good. MaxPax is very close to dead right now. He's, you know, he's getting his Nexus up in his natural. He's still making Phoenix Colossus. That's probably the right play. Phoenix Colossus certainly can, like, scale pretty well. You can have some pretty miraculous defenses with it. A lot harder to attack with. You can see how MaxPax is continually making the Phoenixes as well. I think you do have to take a risk like this. You know? I think you do. I can't fault him for how he's playing this at all. All right, sacks a Stalker to get in there. That's what a crazy position we're in. You might be asking, why not sack the Zealots instead? They're going to tank better. The Stalkers don't tank as well as the Zealots, so better to sack the Stalker. You don't need the anti-air attack. Yeah, he doesn't have enough. He's going to GG. I think. Right? Yeah, his next Colossus walks up. Kills a fair amount of workers there. And actually gets the worker count, like, relatively even. Maybe he has some sort of chance after that? No. Right? His army is so wretchedly bad. It's literally only Phoenixes. Oh. Okay. Okay. He was dead anyways, honestly. Like, that counterattack, like, reeked of desperation. So we're going to be going into game 3. All right. By the way, Trigger and Hero are playing already. Just want to throw that out there. So we might only have one more match, depending on how quickly that goes. But if this finishes quickly and Trigger Hero is still playing, we'll jump into an additional game for that. But those are our top 4 right now. 3 Protoss, 1 Terran.
ST4 and Kai Hanglo cheered. X300, RT serious question. Do you think StarCraft 2 is imbalanced?
Yes. Yes. Zerg is super strong in StarCraft 2. Like, you can't look at the results from the last, like, 7 or 8 years where Zerg has won basically every single thing. Maru and Zerg have won everything. And it's not one Zerg. It's like 6 Zergs. Are they just the best players in the world? Shit like that can happen. Is that the case here? Look at creep spread, man. No, Zerg is a bit too strong. It is a bit too strong. Let's get into game number 3. Also, there is the problem that, like, all the good Protoss players basically went away at the same time. That is an issue. That is an issue. So, one second. We have Royal Blood, game number 3, MaxPax in the top right, Byun in the bottom left. And honestly, both games were stomps. Both games were stomps. Game 1, MaxPax made Byun look bad. Game 2, Byun made MaxPax look bad, honestly. Like, I mean, the last attack did, like, okay for MaxPax. Like, I understood what was going on. right? Like, it felt like he was giving himself the best chance he could, but Byun really put him into a terrible spot. So hopefully we can have a balance of the two where it's just even and close, and we can have a nice, good macro game, maybe? And this time, MaxPax doesn't want to deal with that. This is a funny thing to me, right? Because the eBay block, the previous game, I talked about it, how Hellions are very good if you force the Nexus on the third. MaxPax took it anyways, lost a bunch of probes to Hellions to get behind to begin with. And this time he brings the probes down. And it's like, what? Did you just think Byun couldn't make Hellions and kill your probes? I don't really get it. But at least he does learn from that situation. I'm surprised every time Protoss makes a Nexus at their third against offensive eBay. It's a weird thing. But anyways, he has skipped that here, utilized his probes very well. And now we wait a moment, right? Byun was getting into the Hellion production. You know, obviously he set that up to try to force his opponent to take a third. Looks like we'll probably have a starport over there. It looks like a Hellion drop is going to be the order of the day. So this is not a bad idea. I do think MaxPax will go Phoenix here, and I do think he'll find out what's going on, and I do think he's going to take an advantage because of that. Those are the things that I do think. Like, that seems reasonable. Like, if you can think that far ahead, if you can gigabrain it, like, when you're doing the offensive eBay, you should already have Reactor Hellion set up as your build order, right? Because, again, you don't want to react to things. In fact, if you see something and then try to react to it, that's too late in StarCraft 2. Or really in any RTS, it should be too late at very high levels. You need to just bend what you're doing to deal with what your opponent is doing. You need to not just try to counter because it's too late at that point, right? Now, Phoenix coming out. Let's see if it finds that as predicted. It looks like it's going to, guys. The Hellion's going to come out to meet that medevac ASAP. And we'll just see. The thing is, just because you spot this doesn't mean you're just going to be able to, like, stop it. Now, if he sees the Hellions... Oh, my God. Dude, worst case scenario. Worst case... Oh, and then he does find it this time. But they get out before the Phoenix gets on top of it. Okay, lifts 2. He's trying to... This is like triage right now. Try and take as little damage as possible. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Boost to the natural with 2. Oh, and he dropped one in the main by accident. One in the main by accident. The probes actually block it, but don't quite get the kill. Okay, so only 4 kills? That could have been worse. That could have been worse. Honestly, I think a lot of Protoss there are going to lose 10+ probes. Okay, where are we at now? Third Command Center coming up. Siege Tank production. Have a Cyclone. Colossus coming out here. Or rather, Colossus Tech coming out here for MaxPax. Wants to take his third. Hellion's waiting. Phoenix is going across, maybe going to pick up those Hellions, being a little bit annoying. Yeah, picks off that very hurt one. Dude, I love it circling back, even delaying the Nexus here, because Hellions don't scale against Protoss at all. They become complete garbage later on. So I like the fact that he circled that back around and just... He delayed the Nexus by an extra, like, 8 to 10 seconds there, easily. Easily. And stuff like that really does count in this game. Okay, so Phoenix Harassment comes over. Gets the beginning of an idea of what's going on Byun's side. That third Nexus about halfway done right now. Again, if those Hellions hadn't been in there, it would already be done in mining. Just to kind of put this in perspective a little bit. MaxPax currently up by about 9 workers. And a lot of racks is going down here for Byun. Definitely needs to get up into his 5 racks play. You want that 5 racks pump going. And he's going to need to get out on the map relatively soon, but you do need critical mass to move out against Phoenixes. If you ever move out with very small groups, Phoenixes love to battle against that. But Phoenixes do not scale well overall. Like, okay, so let's just say that fill in both armies with whatever you want and make it maxed right now. These 5 Phoenixes are worthless. This is what I'm trying to say, right? And then, like, against that little group of units, like, if those are out of the map, it's like, okay, these are still worthwhile. We can still do things. You know, a small push comes out. You know, a 25 army supply push comes out. 10 supply Phoenixes are going to really do some great things against that. But yeah, as you kind of wait, as you kind of build up your army supply, suddenly the Phoenixes, for instance, they come in, they try to lift a unit, and there's enough DPS to just power one down immediately, and it drops it, and they're not doing anything, and you just kind of blow up. So eventually they do turn into just anti-drop and or just anti-Viking. And sometimes you can do a cute move like drag a mine on top of Marines, something like that. Occasionally that can occur. So they come in, and this is one of those smaller engagements, right? We see a very small amount of supply there. The Colossi doing a great job carving down that Marine count quite a bit. Putting some damage onto the command center as well. Gonna back up. Fourth Nexus coming for MaxPax here. Going to be finishing relatively soon. Byun with the push now. Okay. So he's got a good amount of units here. The Phoenixes can't just jump in there willy-nilly, right? Like you gotta really have a focused approach to how you're going to utilize your Phoenixes in the next battle. It's something like you bring your Zealots in at the same time and then maybe lift the tanks. That's probably the best you can do for an engagement here. So let's see how he does it. Yeah, ooh, pulls back there. He gets a few volleys on those Marines, which is all right. Yeah, Byun is going to turn around. This doesn't look like a very pushable situation. In the meantime, of course, we were talking about this at the beginning, the set and forget Zealots, the Warp Prism coming in, right? Right now, MaxPax doing a lot to Byun. And Byun wanted to attack, but now he's turning around. He has to deal with this. That's, like, you have to do a lot to deal with that as well. The 3 Zealots get cleaned up relatively quickly. Brings up a lot of units here. MaxPax's going to fly out, going to try to get around this turret, but with the 2 Vikings, going to be a little bit hard. Oh, but actually Byun too busy microing elsewhere. And the shift-clicked Prism escapes. All right, Zealot's being set on the side here for a counterattack in a little bit. Prism trying to come back in, but a lot of Vikings there. So he knows MaxPax wants to come back in, and he's going to punish that very, very quickly. All right, down comes the Colossi. Ooh, not very good there. Byun with a beautiful split. That was a good arc he had as well. Comes through that little choke, and MaxPax immediately crushes a bunch of Marines there with his thermal lances. Backing up once again. This is a lot of siege tanks. Byun's army is actually very good. That is a high-quality army that he has right now. Like, with 5 tanks in there, it's really hard to make the Colossi do what you want when those tanks are sieged. Plus, he has all these Vikings. And the Vikings, of course, have to deal with both the Phoenix and the Colossi. And you have to make a choice. Are you trying to grind everything down, or are you going to just target Colossi to take ground DPS out of the fight? Now more charge lots come in the side. We remember we were looking at those before. Byun going around, trying to flank this. Excellent positioning here on the defense against that charge lot warping in the main. Yeah, the Vikings come up, and the Phoenixes try to turn around. Some very strong EMPs go out, and it looks like Byun... Dude, oh my god, but he's taking a lot of damage from those Zealots. His siege tank's kind of out of position. But the Vikings doing a good job here as well. So right now, this is the main problem. A ton of economic damage has been dealt to Byun, okay? He is at less than half the workers of MaxPax. 86 workers to 39 at the moment. But the army of Byun is way, way better right now. That's why you see double Robo Disruptor being created by MaxPax, right? This is a great unit to try to stall the game out, to buy yourself some more time, or maybe even to get lucky and just get the right shots. Now, Byun coming across the map. This Nexus is a free kill. He doesn't even need to siege and shouldn't siege. Notice how he's not sieging. Byun is playing very well right now. There you go. Siege is at the first sight of the army. Now he's going to want to leapfrog up, probably towards the natural, and then he can branch off and kill stuff, right? You're going to have to engage him as MaxPax here. Oh, God, that was a good hit. That was a very good hit. Another Zealot counterattack here at the third base as well. This is getting out of control for Byun, unfortunately. His worker count continues to go down. The Siege Tanks doing a good job here, for sure. He is killing a lot, but the charge lot's too much, and MaxPax will take down Byun and advance to that finals. That was actually a pretty good game. The constant Zealot counterattacks grinded Byun down. Byun had a much better army, but there was so much multitasking going on, and that actually brings us back to that point I was talking about. For the amount of actions that an opponent can set for a high damage move that they're doing, like these Zealot Warpins, how many actions should you force Byun to have to utilize to deal with that? Because we saw that there. Byun had an opportunity to win. Maybe if he was legit 700 APM, he can deal with everything. As is, took too much damage on his probes.